All right, bro. So we back on this shit, you know. We back on this shit. I mean, what is there to say, bro? Got some goals for this year. Tell y'all about. You know, just a little update. I'ma just be like uploading shit, just because, you know. But here are my goals for this year. You know, this like something to document. You know, so I'm thinking about, you know, for my birthday, whatever. You know, try to look for a little side job. You know, that's gonna be one of my goals for this year, so I can start locking in, right? Fall back in case trading don't go well, you know, have that as a little extra income, and then I'll have the trading as well as the income. So I mean, I hope that goes well. I mean, that's basically gonna be like the main part of this year, and also stay focusing on my mental and shit. Always make sure my mental be good, so then, you know, I be consistent with everything else, so nothing else like falls apart, you know. Like there's a lot. Like I'm gonna stay motivated. I'm gonna stay disciplined. You know, I've been telling myself this since last year, bruh. Like last year, I was talking about, you know, the struggles. The other video, I was talking about the struggles and shit. Like that shit, there was so much. But I never gave up. Like I always told myself to like not give up on stuff. Because if I really wanted it that bad, then I'ma really go through that shit and then come out on top, you know? So like, what's the point of like going so far through and you're gonna quit? You might as well just keep going, you know? Like, there's no reason to stop, bro. Like, even if there's days that you don't feel like fucking like getting up to do that shit, I mean, you still gotta do it, bro. And I mean, what can I say, bro? It's a matter of time. I say after the struggles of last year, I gotta say patience and just like being consistent. I stayed like the top of the list to like stay on. Like you have to keep doing that shit, like no matter what. Like I don't give a fuck. Like that shit will be one of the hardest things. It'll be one of the hardest things that you'll ever have to like come across on. Like it's not easy, but I feel like, and most of the time I feel like the outcome is gonna be the better reward. Like if you give up, you're gonna get nothing from it. Like you're done. That's it. You can't, like, you're done, right? But if you keep going, you keep trying, you keep failing, you know, and learning from that shit, you get more and more better. Like you start learning, you start taking note of that shit, you start improving, like you start turning your shit around. Like from literally, like, there's people that all they ever done is win, or like in a situation where they're like so lucky and they never got to experience what it's like not having shit, or having like what it's like dealing with a struggle, and then they don't know what to do after the struggle. Like they don't push through. But I hope that people that are in a lucky situation, I hope, you know, they can get through the struggles and shit. But I say struggling is low key like a big ass like part of life, where it's like you gotta like learn from your mistakes. You gotta struggle and everything to improve as a better person. Because if there's no mistakes and you think everything's so perfect, you're blind. Like you can't see what's wrong. Like you always gotta be fixing on something, working on something, you know, always improving. Even if it's just like a little bit, you still gotta improve like every day and slowly over time. It's not gonna happen overnight, of course, you know, but there will be days where that, you know, we'll feel like, oh, I could get this shit done in like overnight, everything complete. Like, no, bro, it's gonna take time. I mean, shit, stuff takes time to like really get it down. Like it does not take people, it's not no overnight success. Like it could take years for somebody to finally be successful. And I mean, this is why, like, me as like, you know, a young teen at its age, you know, it's going for shit, because I already know that I'm gonna fail, right? But I'm gonna keep going. There is no point to stop. I got no fucking, like, I barely got any responsibilities, bro. We're not paying shit. Like, there is so much risk to reward. You could like take hella risks. Like you could try out hella shit. At the most, you just lose like your money and the fucking, well, you can get back up. Like, bro, you'll find another way to make money. Like, that's the hard truth though. Like, if you really wanted something that bad, you're gonna go do that shit Like now, you're gonna want it now. Like you're gonna want to keep doing it. Like if you're gonna want it now, but the thing is, of it like wanting it now, like immediately, is you gotta have delayed. Like you gotta delay your gratification, because if you keep getting everything so instant, it's like, oh yeah, like you're working on it now, but do not expect it to be done like overnight. But delayed gratification also like makes you want to keep like going and going, because if you just keep like you work on one thing, you get it done just like that, just immediately, you're gonna do it with everything else, and then you're gonna get bored of everything, and then you're gonna get fucking just stuck in this like little hole that you can't get out of, because you already have like all that shit too much. Like it's gonna be instant, and then that feeling of that shit just goes away. It's just gone. But, you know, there's a lot to talk about, but goals for this year, for sure. I think this year could be a really good year for me. Like this is just to like journal this shit, and I think like I'll update y'all through the process. You know, I mean, this year, this is how I'm gonna plan it out. You know, I'm not expecting to make myself a little bit to like a crazy amount of money, but mentally and like mentally in my brain, I think like I envision myself already being successful like 2 to 5 years like down the line. I don't expect it overnight, but you know, I feel like the times I've been grinding this shit, the struggles, like last year when I was going through the struggle part of it. Now I'm on to more like focusing on the mental, like learning to really like be like patient and shit. Like now I'm like on the right track, you know. I tried out many things, and fucking just alone from trading all the stock market shit, just from that changed my entire perspective on how I see things. Like it changes a lot. And I mean, that's if you learn from the mistakes, you take time, you take notes. I wrote shit down on paper. I had this shit planned out. I had my days. I recapped them. I also even put it in a Google Doc. Put that shit in a screenshot, you know, the charts before and after, you know, explaining why I took it, you know. Like, do that with other shit that you're doing too. So then you have it locked in your brain. Because when you write something down, that's like, you're putting that fucking, like, you're actually like physically doing something about it, you know. And it gets locked into your brain instead of just like saying that shit in your head and you're not doing nothing. You're gonna say that shit in your head and you're gonna forget, and then boom, it's gone, you know. I mean, yeah, like goals for this year they're gonna be hit. Like I'm expecting at least like, if not anything more than 10k, 20k, 30k, I say that's a good amount just for a young teen. Like I'm not asking too much, but you know, I just want to consistently, like, I want to have compound gains. I'm not trying to get all the money overnight. I'm trying to let that shit stack up. Not trying to get it quick. I just need it to stack up, you know, over the years. So like maybe by the time I'm 18, you know, I'll be 18 watching this video back, and I'll be thanking myself for thinking like this. Like, think about that shit. Like, will that shit matter? 5 years, you're trying to keep getting rich overnight. Like, no, bro, you're just gonna think you're dumb as fuck. Like, think about that shit in the long term when doing goals. You can literally like just achieve shit, bro. It's literally all in your fucking head. Everything's in your fucking head, and all it takes is for someone to realize that shit, and they apply it. Like, you can have all the knowledge, but you don't apply it to nothing, so it's just wasted potential. You just have it in your head. You have it in your head, but you don't apply it like all the way. Like, you know it's there, but you don't do nothing about it. Like, go write it down, you know, make goals, have a list, you know, check shit off, recap of what you did through the day, like shit you do, like, did you do this, did you do that, you know. And it's okay to, you know, take some breaks, but not too long. Don't get too comfortable. But as long as you're growing every single day, it's good for you mentally, physically, bro. You're gonna see how much better, like, your life, your fucking perspective, everything changes. That's just from like, and from my experience, I'm just saying this. I'm literally saying this shit off the dome. So everything I've been saying, bro, not even a single time I cut the video. Like, this is just me speaking, and that's on the real shit. Like, there's just way too much. Like, I could keep going on for this for days, bro. But yeah, bro, like, I can get into detail, you know. I can make another video about it, but you know, goals for this year. Obviously the trading shit, get that down, get the little side job too. Side job, probably gonna work at some little store. I don't know about fast food, but you know, a little store, you know, get the paychecks, you know, put that shit, put some of it in the trading account, right? And just be consistent. Try not to keep making hella money overnight. I'm gonna keep like, you know, stacking up like an item out, you know, like a doable amount, you know, and just keep compound gaining it. Because if you think about it, if you're working and you're trading, say you're even getting like $100 or $200 from trading, right? And you're working, even on a school day, you know, you'll get like $60-$70, right? And you get even like $50 from trading. Even that's like your minimum. You get $50 from trading and you don't even trade with that much, you're still getting like 100 a day. And I mean, with 4 hours, like 5 hours if you're working, you know, all that shit, it stacks up. And then over time, because you're being consistent and you're not being greedy, your fucking thing's gonna grow like crazy exponentially, because, you know, it's gonna go from $50 to $100 to $200, you know, but that takes time. So if you like let time be with you and not try to fucking rush it, you'll be straight. You know, you have the plan, you have the goal, you have everything. So this is what I'm hoping, you know, by the end of the year. I hope I achieve all of these goals. You know, I say at least like 10K, if like just a little more than 10K. I'm not expecting a lot, but around that range. And fucking just as long as I'm a consistent trader, you know, like staying consistent with the green days, not fucking trying to get greedy, just taking quality plays where I take 2 trades, walk away, take my profit and leave. And then I can go to school, I can go to work, you know, work for a little bit, have that also, you know, a little separate paycheck and shit. I mean, yeah, like that's pretty much it for my goals for this year. And I could update this shit back in another, like next year, you know? So I mean, I could check back on this video, you know, this is probably what I'm gonna do. I'm literally just gonna upload this. Like I said on the other video, I want to upload this shit just to upload it. But yeah, that's it. We done.